Hello. Sorry, no longer have the dramatic Jerusalem sky in the background. Much more prosaic. I'm back in the shul. It was really great to hear from you while I was away. It's nice to know that people are watching the videos, and you too appreciated the dramatic Jerusalem background. Um, I had the occasion on Shivas Tammuz to visit a small yeshiva in Gush Etzion called Yeshivat Siach. That is the yeshiva that's led by the students of Rav Shagar. Some of us have studied Rav Shagar's thought over the past year or so, and the yeshiva is trying to continue his legacy and publish his writings. And it's a really interesting place. I was there just briefly, but enough to get a taste. They're very eager to partner with rabbis in America to sort of bring his Torah to a broader audience. They think it's a message that is really, really important. So one thing I learned from Rosh Yeshiva was a tradition of the Retzara Kakouan of Lubin in one of his writings, a very, very thoughtful, interesting Hasidic philosopher and thinker of prior centuries, that the verse that describes, that is taken to describe this period of time, Bein HaMitzarim, this is the period between the straits, the 3 weeks between Shivas Tammuz and Tisha B'Av, the 3 weeks of anticipatory and growing mourning. The verse in Necha says, "Kol rodfeya yisaguha bein hamitzarim." All of her pursuers were able to, reach her, and they were chasing after her. Bein hamitzarim, in this like straight time of narrows and constraint. And so it's understood most commonly to be a reference to the 3 weeks, Bein HaMitzarim, that Shivas Tammuz and Tisha B'Av are these two mourning days that define and confine this season. But Tzaddik says, no, Kol Rodfei Ka. He makes a little drasha. It's those who are searching after God are able to attain some intimacy, comprehension with God during this period of Bein HaMitzarim, during this time when we're mourning the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, which is a very counterintuitive way to understand the destruction of the Beis. We usually understand the loss of the Beit HaMikdash, the loss of the temple, as God's estrangement, as this place where heaven and earth met being taken away, and God is more distant now, and humanity is estranged from God, which is really just another way of saying humanity is estranged, each of us from one another. But Retzara Kakouan says no. When a king leaves the king's palace, it's much more easier to encounter the king. And without the Beis HaMikdash, God is actually more attainable, not confined in one far-off location, but easier to find. And he points out, as evidence of this, the flourishing of the Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah, precisely in the generations following the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, that enabled those of us, our ancestors, who were striving for God, pursuing God, to attain this tremendous insight and this flourishing of the Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah, the Mishnah, the Talmud, that all came after the destruction of the temple for a very good reason. The king leaves the palace is destroyed. We can encounter the king more easily. And so those of us, we can be Rodfei Ka, we can be pursuing God and some understanding of what God wants from us and intimacy with our Creator. This is a time to work on that and to hopefully be successful. Wishing you all a wonderful Shabbat. Looking forward to seeing you again after a few weeks. So hope to see you in Shul and hear how your summer has been.